Hi, my name is Garland E. Harris, and I'm the President and CEO of the Dream Factory. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is how do we raise money and how can you make money from us raising money? Some of you know right now that we're involved in the satellite industry. We got involved because of a gentleman named John Page that we had done business with 4 or 5 years ago. We actually bought a public company from he and his group, and we use it to help promote a pizza company. And a gentleman had a dream. He wanted to open up pizza restaurants all over the country, and having this public company was a way to do that. Since that time, we do things a little differently. Rarely would we ever buy a public company again. We would develop it. And we figured out ways and means to do that simply and to do that relatively easily. It takes about a year to do that, but that's not really what we're talking about. That's another aspect of the Dream Factory, our desire to help 62,400 companies raise from $1 to $5 million apiece. Now, we've developed a way to do that for small companies, as well as to give you the opportunity to make money helping us do that. How do we do that? Well, I'd like to bring up this book called The Tipping Point. This was written by a gentleman named Malcolm Gladwell. And one of the sections in here talks about connectors. Connectors are very critical to what I call my syndicated nodal system. This is a system where small efforts produce big results. Here he talks about how little things can make a big difference. Same idea. These days, a lot of the big money is hiding, waiting for the next big thing, where there are a lot of little things that are going to become big things right now. But most people don't have the opportunity to participate with those because usually they're private companies, and oddly enough, to be involved in some of these small private companies, you would have to be an accredited investor, meaning you'd have to have a big net worth to get involved with the possibility of winning with a small company. Sounds ironic, doesn't it? Well, the Dream Factory has figured out a way how that you can be involved with small companies that are on their way to becoming big. It helps that company, it helps the economy, it produces jobs, and it puts money in your pocket. Here's how. We don't sell stock in companies. Here's one of the reasons. We're not stockbrokers. We're not broker-dealers. We're not investment advisors. We're not accountants. We're not attorneys. We're not financial advisors. We're just people who want to make money. So there's something that the Dream Factory developed called, it wasn't the Dream Factory, actually I developed it in another company, Global Troption Partners, called Troptions. Troptions are a currency that you use to swap one product or service for another product or service. It's sometimes called a barter currency or a trade currency, trade dollars, barter dollars. You may have heard of them. That's what Troptions are. Troptions represent goods and services that can be acquired with that particular currency called a Troption. Similar to chips in Vegas. If you go to Vegas, which I love to do, I'm not a gambler, but I go to Vegas, and when I go, I see that people take their money, they exchange their money for chips, and then they use their chips to play the various games in Vegas. Some casinos, you can actually use those chips to buy things. If you had enough chips, you could go to the Wynn and go to their lobby and buy a Ferrari or a Maserati there with your chips that you won. So, Troptions are similar to that. Anything within that particular casino or that particular area you could buy using Troptions. It's just within that particular category, that particular group. Now, one of the cool things that happens is there are certain companies that the Dream Factory helps. They're all willing to accept Troptions for their stock. And the Dream Factory and people that own shares of the Dream Factory, many of them are willing to accept Troptions for their free trading stock. When they do, and they use their Troptions to get other things, that means you have the opportunity to own shares of free trading stock in the Dream Factory, which helps these other small companies. How does this all work? Well, let's say that you're interested in helping small companies raise capital. You want to learn how to sell Troptions and be paid a commission for selling Troptions. We'll teach you how to do that. And we'll show you how to work, how you can be that node, that connector, as Malcolm Gladwell calls these people. People who are in a network of other people who know other people who know other people. On Twitter, for example, you might have 300 followers, you might have 5,000 followers, you might have over 8,000 followers like myself, and then your followers might have a lot of other followers. Maybe your followers have, I think with mine, it's up to about 20 million secondary or second level followers. My followers know so many people that it would be a total of 20 million people or more that I could influence. Well, so can you. It reminds me of Kevin Bacon and those 7 degrees of separation. You know, you can always, from 7 steps, you can reach Kevin Bacon from anyone. Or Kevin Bacon can reach anyone else just 7 steps away. It's similar to that, you know. And there are people that will be interested in what you're interested in. They may want to buy options, and when they do, you get paid a commission. We did this before. We started with 20 people, and we raised $5 million in 3 months for a small company that needed capital, starting with approximately 20 people. That grew to about 2,000 people who each put in approximately $2,500. Now, the only thing that's changed these days is people have less money that they're working with, so it takes more people. Well, one more step away and you have more people. So let's say 20 people they each talked to someone and that went in their network and that went to 40 people, like that might be on Twitter. And that goes to 80 people, to 160 people, to 320 people, to 640 people, to, let's see, 1,280 people, to 2,560 people, to 5,120 people that each put in about, what, $1,000. That's $5 million right there. That's how you can help me fund these 2 satellite companies that we're working with that have tremendous technology in the satellite industry. You could be a part of that. I'm looking for 20 people, 21, and I might take as many as 101. But really, I'm looking for a core of 20 to 21 people who want to make really good money. The last group that worked with me in this, some of those original people, one of the first batch of 20, made over $117,000 in that 3 months' time. I'm not saying you're going to do the same. Another one of the individuals made over $83,000 in that 3 months' time. Another individual, he and his wife made $25,000. Some people just got involved and bought into the stock that in that particular company went from 3/10 of a penny to 83 cents. Some people bought in at $5,000 and sold out at $500,000. A group of chiropractors did that. Some of them did that. There was a group of 10 and that got involved for $5,000. Some of them got out at $500,000, others at $60,000, and everywhere else along the way. I remember one lady who got in when the stock was at, I think it was 4 cents, and she got out when it went to 40 cents. So she made $40,000 there. So some people just want to get involved in the stock. Others want to get involved in helping other people to fund these companies. Some do it just because they want a little extra money, helping to fund the American dream. That could be you. If you want to join me in this endeavor, you can email me at garlandeharris@gmail.com. That's garlandeharris@gmail.com. You can go on my blog and make a comment on this particular video. You could call me at 412-334-8440. That's 412-334-8440. Only call me if you're serious, because I get a lot of phone calls and I only have time for serious calls. Thank you so much. Be a part of the American dream.